Should be good though. But we should be live streaming pretty much now.
Okay, awesome. Welcome everyone. Hi YouTube family. I'm so glad to be here today. We usually are Facebook Live, and we have now switched over to the YouTube platform. So we are so excited to be here. Just want to take care of a few things first. Please like our video, click that subscribe button, and we'll see you the next video. So let's get into it. Welcome to Mommies and Money. My name is Laura Whedon. Myself and the lovely Tanisha Steiger are your host of this segment today. Just real quick, Mommies and Money, what we're about here. We are in pursuit of excellence and the breaking of generational curses by empowering women and mothers through financial education to ensure a better future. So we're all about empowering women and getting that financial knowledge, right? We want you to win financially, but we also want you to come have fun with us. We love to have that girl chat. We love to have awesome, deep, interesting topics of discussion, but we also want to hear from you. So if you have any ideas of what you would like to discuss when it comes to finances, please drop a comment below. We will also have a link for you if you want to get some more financial knowledge. We will reach out to you. So let's get started. Before we do, Tanisha, did you want to give us a little information about yourself or just a hello?
Hi, I'm Tanisha Steiger. I'm actually one of the financial professionals that are on here. I'm just really big on the research part, but yes, I'm super happy to be here with each and every one of you. Definitely excited to sit there and go into the secret world of the 401k, 403b. This would be a great video to show some friends or family members of yours that are completely vested in just those two, or have one of each, and may not know exactly what is going on inside of it. So let's get crazy. Let's get crazy.
Awesome. I love the little creepy laugh. Anywho, like Tanisha said, we are going to dive a little bit deeper into the difference between a 401k, a 403b, and man, it's just so much information out there, right, Tanisha? I mean, good grief. Well, I mean,
there's a lot of information out there, but at the same time, is it good information or is it bad information? They're showing you like the positive of it, not really telling you like, hey, save a whole bunch of money, and then knock knock.
Right.
Hey, Uncle Sam. He's like the one Sam, like he's like the one uncle that you know that touches people, and you don't want him to touch you. So you tell your mom like he's touching some things that he shouldn't be touching. Your mom's like freaking out, like, wait, what is he touching on you? That's how I feel about Uncle Sam. But yes,
that is too funny. Well, I mean, okay, so speaking from experience, the 401k is well known. A lot of people automatically just have a 401k savings account through their employer, right? So what exactly is the 401k, and like what are the benefits of having it? Because a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, I have a 401k with my job, but a lot of people, I would say, just kind of know a general knowledge of just it being like just existing, you know, but don't really know what they're basically putting their money into and how it actually works.
Completely. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a good question. And I'm not like, the personal like professional when it comes to 401ks and 403bs. I can only just tell you guys out there like the basic financial principle of each, and the research I found, just be able to read upon it and just knowing how it's part of a tax later account. So let me see if I can just kind of pull it up. So while I find that, let's just all know that we have retirement plans. Most of the time, those retirement plans go into 401ks, 403bs. Some people put in Roth IRAs. Some people have annuities. Some people have long-term care. There's a lot of different things you consider put and save for your future, right? But most, like you said, most employers to recruit people, they have something special, right? You have something special like the 401k and the 403b and bam, 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 like all these fireworks that are around them. What they're actually doing is a defined contribution plan. And like that book that you were, and I told you to read, like the Saving Your Future book that is out there, everyone. It's a defined contribution plan that is known by the IRS for their tax code. So the 401k and 403b is a tax code, guys. And these plans allow the employee to make the pre-tax contribution. So that's from your gross, that's not from your net, right? So you get it paid, all this money. So you get to pay Medicare, not Medicare, Social Security, FICA, all these things. If you have child support, all these things come out of your check. And then the other thing that comes out from your check is the contribution that you're making into your own retirement account. So you're taking your own money and put it into this account. And what the recruiting extravaganza factor is, there's some employers make that matching, they match with you, right? They match to a certain amount. Now, the employer serves as a plan sponsor and has other company administrative plan and its investments. That's where some of those 401k, 403b fees come from. Most people don't know what those fees even are because most people don't even want to go into that. So it usually has, a mutual fund brokerage firm or an insurance company, one of the three, right? 401ks essentially is a retirement account. Employees receive tax benefits from contributions to 401k, specifically that matches can be taken as deductions on the federal corporate tax returns. And at the same time, it doesn't have a lifetime pension play or lifetime payout plan like a pension. 403bs are very, very similar to 401ks, very similar. Like, actually, the difference between the one that's really big is that 403bs are actually more expensive.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I'll break a little bit of that. I'll touch on that just a tad, right?
Okay.
But 403bs is very similar. I mean, but those are really for like tax exempt organizations like schools, like hospitals or religious organizations, right? So most of the time people are like they put money into these plans, and they hopefully should know you can't take any of that money out before 59 and a half because you will be subject to penalties.
Yep, penalties. Yep.
All right. So
what do people normally put into their 401k? Like, what's the roundabout percentage that most people put in?
1 to 3%, 1 to 3%. 1 to 3. Those are the main. That's like the main ones. Like for what I've seen, it's usually 1 to 3% of their. Now, if you have employers like, I'm gonna match you 5%, by all means do it, but just know the tax implications that are going to be on them at the same time, because because you know what you put in, right? But you won't know what you may get when you actually retire due to the market fluctuations, because your 401k, 403bs are really not that safe. So, but what I've seen is definitely, where am I? I've seen is definitely most people actually probably put 1 to 3% of their income.
1 to 3%. Okay. So when you say it's really not that safe, what is it that we need to be aware of? Because, I mean, most people I would say are in that percentage where we're just working a 9 to 5-er, and we're either part-time or full-time. Most likely part-time is not eligible to put into their 401k at a regular job. But those who are full-time, they have the eligibility. And like what other options are out there? Like, why do most people do the 401k? I mean, to be honest with you, it's like a trend to me. Most people talk about it because they just don't have any knowledge.
Good job. You said trend. Else. You said nail right on the head, sweetie. You actually hit the nail right on the head. Like, most people actually have no idea how 401k actually works. they're popular, but no one really wants to understand that there's a major problem in a 401k, right? Or the 403b. So many people, oh yeah, I get a 401k. I'm super excited. I can't wait to put like thousands and thousands of dollars in my 401k, and I can't wait because I'm gonna have like a whole bunch of money by the time I'm like turning like 65 and be like, woohoo! And that's not exactly what goes down. But they pretty much contribute to these plans because most of, like you said, it's a trend, and most of their friends are doing it. Why would it's like, well, you know what your mom always told you? I'm sure your mom, but my mom was like, if you jump off if your friend jumped off the bridge, would you do it?
Right.
And I'm looking at my mom like, no.
Right.
I would never want to jump off the bridge with my friends. Like, sorry, sucks for you, but I'm not saving you either. So,
I may throw you a line.
I might throw you a couple of lines, but other than that, it's more so, and that's the case. Like most people who brag about their 401k and 403bs, and I'm not sitting there saying that it's a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing. Just have a backup plan, because you have to have something that's going to help you beat the inflation. And most of the time, I hate when I hear people who take out loans or withdrawals from their plans, and the way they're set up when they take those things out is that you're actually paying more interest for the company that's actually holding your plan. So you can take out, like, for example, I have a friend who she just took out $2,000 for her car, to get her car. $2,000. Here's my phone so I can do this math for you guys real quick. $2,000. She took out $2,000, and no joke, she paid $3,185 after 48 months. Now it's $2,000. We all know like $2,000 is what? Like, let's do that. That is $166.67 a month, right? It took her longer than 2 years to pay off $2,000.
Wow, because of the interest. That interest will get you every time.
Well, the interest and that penalty, that 10% penalty they're going to take from you. So you literally are like, okay, well, I can deal with that. I could take that. So 200 is 10% of 2,000. So let's just say you would think that they're already taxing you at the end of your harvest, but at the same time, though, if you need your money, let's say you have an emergency, you need to pull out. Now you're not only just paying back the loan you took out from your own money, which mind-boggling to me. I'm sorry, but it's your own money. It boggles my mind, because your money that you're putting away for your future is literally going to be taxed from somebody else, from somebody who's going to come to you before the age of 59 and be like, hey, I'm going to grab some money from you because you owe me. And you're sitting here like, okay, not really, but Uncle Sam, he's going to sit there and try to touch you and tell you like, oh, you look great, and all this, like all the creepy stuff that we hear on like Law and Order and stuff. And then like you're thinking, if I had an emergency and I needed some extra money, like, so now you're paying off something even more longer to a company that's actually holding your plan. But at the same time, though, it's affecting you in more ways than one. Like, few people get, like, what does it say? It says few get involved enough to, or take the time to understand or monitor their plans. And it says that, like, a recent AARP survey, 71% of people with 401ks didn't know that they were paying fees for their retirement accounts. And the fees can reduce their 401k balance up to about 30%. Now, if anyone wants to find this, I'll definitely put this link on the YouTube site where we actually show the show. And if you want to go on, it's from CNN. So you can always just go back if you want to sit there and cite this. And then on top of that, without understanding the different investment options of the plan, they may pick the one that doesn't meet their risk tolerance or objectives. And there's so many people who end up with poor results because their retirement needs aren't met. So people are sitting there thinking like, I'm saving. And some people are really great at saving, and some people, are kind of not. And
It's so funny that you bring that up. If I can just interject real fast, because we were talking about the Saving Your Future book, and it says in the book, 37% of people wrongly believe they don't pay any fees. 22% of people don't know whether their plan even charges fees. And then 14% couldn't figure out what fees there even, even exist. So that's kind of crazy that we kind of, in a sense, blindly put our money into vehicles and we don't really know what it entails. Like, this is some really good information that you're dropping on us right now. So yes, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out.
No, that's amazing. I'm glad you sat there and said that. They said for 2020, which was, hellacious year for all of us. But for 2020, the maximum amount that was contributed was $19,500 per year. So let's just do that math real quick. So $20,000. Let's just go that route. 500 divided by 12. So that's 1625 per month. Right? Now, doesn't seem like it's a lot, but if you could put away 1625 in something that could be a tax advantage plan for you that actually can grow money for you, then you're totally beating inflation. But like you sat there and said, most people don't know. Like, they really don't know. Like, it's so crazy because
it comes down to like, oh, I'm putting money away into my 401k. My company is matching me, but they don't know at what percent their company is even matching, if they're even matching them. And
which is sad, because don't they give you guys an orientation?
But I mean, I think it comes down to just ignorance. A lot of people don't understand the language of money. So, I mean, that just takes us back to the basics. And that's why we have this platform. That's why we do what we do, so that we can kind of break it down into layman's terms, so that people can have an understanding of how their money is working for them or against them. I mean, because when I talk to people that I know, it's, oh yeah, get your 401k, put that money aside, but they don't consider the fees or inflation. And I'm going to be honest, inflation, is one of those silent killers. Like, it just kind of creeps up on you like, hey, you forgot about me. Like, nobody thinks about inflation at all.
Oh, no. And you're right.
Actually,
I think they food. What? Is that
Hello?
You? Hey,
Brittany. Hello.
Hey, what's up, girl?
It's so good to see you. You look so good, ladies. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's so funny when you guys are talking about the 401k, because I was just talking to someone and I was like, what made you, match what you match? What made you do what you do? And she literally said at the HR meeting, she just looked over to her friend and was like, hey, what are you going to do? And she just did what her friend did. And it's like, this is how people are making financial decisions, by someone who's their peer, who doesn't know anything about money, how it works. And people think it's so complex, but it's honestly not even that difficult. Once you just sit and understand the vocabulary, what you're doing, you're able to make a more informed decision. But even, not only the inflation and the fees, but even the tax implications on it. So, you don't know what the future tax rate is going to be, and it's a tax later account. So that means that's like me saying, hey, I'm going to give you a loan today, but I'm not going to tell you the interest until later. Most people are like, no, I'm not going to take that, but people are doing that with their 401k every day. They're putting money in it, don't know what the tax rate is going to be by the time they retire. It might be 75% tax rate, so you can lose more than what you even put in. So it's just,
we have no idea.
Yeah.
One thing we know about this country, that things slowly creep up. So
yes, exactly.
I mean, that's one thing.
Except for us dying, that seems to be like since day one. So
true.
Put that out there. I'm not scared.
Right. Right. Thanks, Brittany.
Okay,
thanks
Brittany, give me, Brittany, let's just say, give me hypothetically, give me a number. Like, give me a number, like, what people are like, yeah, I saved this much in my 401k. Like, just give me a random number.
Most of the time I get people just saying they do the full max out. Like, they max it out to the full. It's not really like an exact number. There's like, yeah, I match with my, employer, and I do the highest I can do. So.
Right. And then when they, like, let's just say, like, okay, you're 55, right? And you're like, I'm about to retire. I'm going to retire and I have my 401k. Like, what would you want to sit there and have in your 401k? No, I know what you know now, but like I'm saying, like, let's just say took all that financial education out of it. Like, what would you want to have in your 401k? Just a random number.
Hopefully all my kids are out the house and the house is paid off. I would be good. Honestly, I would be good with about a good maybe 900,000. I'm just being conservative. Maybe
900,000. Right. It's a hell of a conservation.
Right. Just to retire for a little bit. It's nothing much.
Okay. So out of 900,000, so you worked from like 30 years at this company and you saved up 900,000 in your 401k.
Not gonna happen, right? But yes. Yeah.
But I mean, we said hypothetically. So 900,000 times 30% is $270,000.
Wow.
So out of your 900,000, you literally are only left with $630,000.
That's crazy. And that's just the tax rate for now. Who knows what it's going to be by the time I'm 55? But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. And then we don't know what's going to happen because, you know, like that big hit that happened in 2008. Mm-hmm. A lot of things happen to a lot of people's 401ks and 403bs, right? That's why they start looking towards annuities and other sources like Roth IRAs for their money, right?
Exactly.
But we're not sitting there saying like, hey, we're not sitting there saying it's great to save, but it's also great to understand where you're saving at. Mm-hmm. That's the major thing because most of us do not know. And when I say most of it, like you guys have to realize, so a 401k, this is like the differences between both of them, right? It's like a comparison chart. So you have, you know, 401ks are for everyone else that doesn't work in a public school or hospital, certain ministries, churches, right? And then 401ks are vested in more so mutual funds and other investments offered by the plan administrator, which is your employer. And then 403bs are tax sheltered annuity. They actually put their money into tax shelters, annuities, and mutual funds. So this is the kicker, okay? Because they're both before tax contributions, right? We both know on 401ks, it's the employer actually can match to a certain percentage of the employee's contribution, right? To encourage the retirement saving. And then on the 403b side, the employer matching is not even common, actually. Like sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Nonprofit companies don't usually have enough discretionary income to even make matching contributions.
Also, that's the reason why it's more expensive.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that, right?
Oh, okay.
Like so, when people
I'm jumping again.
Right, and when people are sitting there like, you know, I work at a hospital, I'm a teacher, I have a 403b. Most of the time, they don't even know that they're actually paying more with their 403b than they actually are with anything else. Like I said, I mean, it's they both are the same exact thing. They're both taxable incomes. Once you want to sit there and try to withdraw all of it, you want to sit there and you can pay income tax on your contributions when you try to withdraw at the age of 59 and a half, right? So 401ks, the cost of it varies by the employer side. And that includes the administrative fees and the cost charged by funds, right? And then on the 403b side, you actually tend to be more expensive because the investment vehicle is most often in an annuity they're putting their money in. Not your money is going into a 403b, but they're taking with your money, they're putting it into an annuity that's actually going to be a tax shelter for them.
Oh.
So you typically pay high front end fees on the 403b side. Either way, you're both not allowed to sit there and touch it until 59 and a half. If you do it before then, it's a 10% penalty. And then you guys know. And then the borrowing, like when you withdraw money or borrow money from your 401k, which is your own money, but that's just crazy. So the 401k, I think you can do, they said if it's less than 10,000, you can borrow up to the vested account balance. So whatever you have that's actually in your account, right? Same thing with the 403b. Both have, when it comes to loan repayment rules, it's the same rule. So the IRS will deem that repayment must occur within 5 years, and the payments must be made quarterly in equal amounts that cover the principal and the interest. So you're taking money out of your own account. Yes, you are. And you're actually paying more money for your loan that you took out when it came to getting your own money out. So you're kind of, it's like
crazy.
It really is. And like I told you, like when it comes down to those fees, this is what I found out. The fees. So the third party administrative fees is somebody who handles on ongoing tasks to keep your plan functioning. That's the person's job. There's a custodian. Custodian holds your plan's assets and protect and processes transaction in and out of the plan. Another person's job. Record keeping. Documents participants when it comes to your assets and your investments and how money moves in and out the plan. Didn't you know how your money moves in and out the plan? That's the whole point, right? Am I crazy? Should I be like, going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at this point in time? Probably so. Somebody who they have some companies actually bundle. So they bundle the administrative, they bundle the custodian and the record keeping to sit there and say that they're doing more for you. But in actuality, it's 3 separate people or it's one person doing 3 different jobs. And then you have an advisor, and the advisor actually helps you make good decisions, managing your plan, and helps your employees make the most of their savings and investments. Some of y'all out there need to be shot in the face, but we're not going to say that out loud. Just did. Sorry. And then you have other third-party vendors, which is the auditors, the brokers, the asset managers, or fund managers. So you have those 6, like people are actually those are part of the fees. Like one sometimes goes like 1 to 2%, one's 3%. The highest I saw was like 17.8%. That are actually going inside those 401ks as well. So awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
And it's not sad, but it's like if people just took the time to just learn some more financial education when it comes down to their own money and make sure they're their own money manager, we probably would be we'd be in a lot better place. A lot of people would be in a lot better place in reality. So yeah, it kind of it's frustrating. It has to be frustrating sometimes because people who keep telling you like ups and down, ups and down, ups and downs, like they have a 401k or 403b, you can just ask them like, what do you have in it right now? More than likely, probably about a good like 65-70% of the time, they're not gonna be able to tell you like what exactly they have in there. They haven't even looked.
Right.
And what about like if they leave that job? Some of them can't transfer that, right? I mean, you're lucky.
Roll it over. No, you can roll it over. You can always roll over your 401k. But like you sat there and said, when people leave their jobs, they usually forget.
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, I do have a 401k from that job. Or like, so you just have money just out there, like really just out there. So
it's up for grabs for someone else. Well, for that employer to,
Right. So like I tell people like for the most part, 403b plans are like, they're like the nonprofits world answer to the 401k, right? So yay, we want people to sit there and save money, excuse me. So teachers and healthcare workers who are covered by those plans. So my essential people, right? My essential workers, because we're in COVID now. So they're the ones who have the highest fees for the retirement plans. And most of them don't even know that. Like most of them have no idea. None at all.
Wow. Now that's stuff that I didn't know for sure. That's crazy to me. So, I mean, like we're breaking down the 401k versus the 403b, but neither one of them seem like, the best option out there. I mean, what other options do we have? Or will we get into that a little later?
Yeah, plenty of options. Like, when it comes down, it's always about the, what did Brittany say? The vocabulary. Like she said, like when it came down to, they're both, they're in orientation. Like she's with her friend and we're sitting here we're sitting here going through, most of the time, most companies offer life insurance. Most of the time they offer a retirement plan. No one's listening to that HR person. They're just sitting there hearing. No one's sitting there saying like, okay, let me take this home and read about this and make sure this is the right decision for me. Now, if I could sit there and pull away $1,600 a month out of my check whether it be it's going to have to be the net and that's the gross, right? Because I have to do after the taxes are taken out. So if I could sit there and not have like $1,600 or not even like, that'd be great. But like, if you have 500, you're actually doing better if we put them into a tax advantage account, which we'll definitely discuss a little bit later as well. Tax now, tax later, tax advantage, the little table that we have in our book that breaks it all down. What accounts you actually have. And I think that will actually kind of like open some eyes up, because there are actually, the conclusion is really like the 403 plan ultimately costs you more money, but in the end, they're fine to have. They're great to have. That's the only thing you want to save in, and that's the only thing you know about. You're going to get what you're going to get. You pay for what you're going to get. That's pretty much what it comes down to. A lot of people have no idea. I mean, I just, to me personally, my opinion out there in the YouTube world, my opinion, it's my money. I should know where my money is going. I should know what's happening with my money. I want my money to sit there and grow. I don't want my money to be out there. And if the market happens to crash again, like it did in 2008, and I lose thousands of dollars that I worked hard for, I'm going to have a problem. Who do I talk to? Department of Labor? Department of Treasury? Do I need to go all the way to the IRS? Because if I walk into the IRS, we're going to talk about some other things too. So like, I just feel like most people have no idea when it comes down to what they actually do have and what they don't have. That's the kicker, especially when it comes to us Black folks. Like, we really just think like, oh, you have a 401k, you're doing great. May not, because you might be in a situation where you want to sit there and want to buy a house, a new car, or you might need a new roof or whatever, because you didn't have an emergency fund that was stacked away. So it's a lot that's going on in that. You know what I'm saying? And as Black women, especially when it comes to Black women, we work hard and we have like a whole day. Like Laura, like as a mom, you already know, like your day is just not like, oh, I'm gonna get up and watch Young and the Restless and eat some bonbons and make sure Aaron's in class. Like that would be the kind of life. Ooh, bonbons.
I haven't had bonbons in so long.
They sound so good. I never even had them before.
Really? You have to try them.
Aren't they ice cream?
So there's bonbon candies, and I remember those are old school from like high school. So I mean, there could be ice cream too, but the bonbon candies, good.
Okay. Brittany over there from like the West Coast, she's probably like, bonbons. Oh, let me just go ahead and put some stuff.
Oh, she's
I was about to say, I don't even know what bonbons are. I thought it was like Twinkies or something when you first said it. I was like, it's like a Twinkie. That's funny.
Everybody's gonna go and like Google bonbons.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just like people, because people kept saying it when we were kids. People kept saying like, "Oh, you're gonna go in front of the TV, watch bonbons, or eat bonbons and watch TV." I'm like, "What the fuck are bonbons?" Sorry. Sorry guys, but what are bonbons, and why haven't I even known about this thing? So
it's so funny. Bonbons are the bonbons that I know of are candies, the little circle candies, like little balls, and they come in different flavors and they're super good.
Okay, are you sure you're not talking about gobstoppers?
I'm certain they're not gobstoppers. I don't like those.
I'm over here like about to Google bonbons.
Right. Like I said, everybody's gonna Google bonbons. But anywho, this was some good information, my darling. I appreciate you breaking this down. But like you said, like people just really need to learn the language, learn the vocabulary, and know where their money is going. A lot of people, it's kind of a fear because life goes by so quickly. You know what I mean? Like 1 minute you're in your 20s and the next minute you're like approaching 50 and you're like, oh crap, what have I done with all this time? And what am I going to retire on? Like people need to think about these things as soon as possible, right? And then for those of us who are mothers, I mean, we need to think about these things for our kids' sake. You know what I mean? And preparing them, because what happens is we perpetuate cycles of ignorance, so to speak, or we only know what we know. You know what I mean? And I want to be, as a mother, to make sure that my son knows how to prepare before he reaches adulthood. Something that he needs to be thinking about now, because we have these ideals of when retirement is, but you can retire whenever you want to. I mean, some of us have goals to retire in our 30s, and some people want to retire in their 40s. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be, 59 and a half, 65. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. You're right. You're completely right about that. That's like, it doesn't have to be when you're 45. I mean, what happens if Laura, you're like, I want to retire when I'm 45? We both know that's like, 15 years for you. And like you worked at this job and you can't even access your own money to a certain age.
Right. Right. Yeah. But it's my money. Has to be so why? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's your money. So it bothers the hell out of me. So I'm just like, I don't understand. I really don't get it.
I think the thing is, people just have to understand their financial goal, because I don't think there's a such thing as a bad account. Like, the 401k is not bad, but if you want to retire at 40 and you have plans to do this and that, like, but you plan on working your job till you're 65, you're gonna have to find another account to put your money in, because it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to retire, off that. So it's important just to know the types of account, or what account you're using, to understand, like, okay, my financial goal is this. I can't use the 401k because I want to retire by this age and I don't want to pay taxes by this time. So people just have to understand what they have and what they need for their goals. That's pretty much it.
And you're completely right. And most people have to, and just understand tax applications, period. I mean, if okay, perfect example, every year most people are paying taxes, right? Mostly every year. You always have that one person who's like, girl, I get my tax money, I'm gonna go get me a new car. Do you need a new car? Didn't you get a new car like 2 years ago? Like, what? Car seems like it's doing pretty good. Is it still running? It has oil in it? Has water? Not water, but I'm saying, like, power steering, brake fluid, antifreeze. Is it the key ignition? Does it still start? Does starter still work? Like, why do you need a brand new car? Because you want to keep up with the Joneses, right? You're like, I want my friends to be like, oh, girl, I saw me in a Tessie. Say all that stuff. Like, that's my best friend type situation. And your best friend's like, look, I'm going to drive this 2001 Hoopty until the wheels fall off. And then I'll figure something out. Because I'm just going to try to put half that money from what I get from Uncle Sam back into something that's going to work out for me. So I think that, and like Brittany said, there's no such thing as a bad account besides the checking and savings account and CDs and stocks and bonds. But hey, just it's up to you. It's really just up to you as a person and what you want to sit there and be, what you're more comfortable with. And that's why we always make sure that when we have those conversations with our clients, have those conversations and do a financial needs analysis, because what you might have may not benefit you in the next 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we have those, hey, let's sit down and do those financial needs analysis, because somebody could just drop the ball, or somebody was trying to look out for you, but you didn't understand exactly what was going on with your money. Right? So
what I would say, I challenge all of you watching, no matter if you're young or not, write down your financial goals. Like Brittany said, what are your financial goals? What do you want to see your life looking like at that retirement age? Or if you want to retire young, what are you doing to reach that goal? Start thinking about those financial plans now, because like I said, it's going to pass by so quickly. And before you know it, you're going to run out of time. You're like, oh, shoot. And then you won't be able to retire. See a lot of older people still in the workforce because they just can't afford to retire. So start thinking about these things now.
Right.
Yes. And do a financial needs analysis, like either be with, Laura, or Tanisha, or myself. If you're watching, I just encourage to go through a financial needs analysis because, when I'm talking to a lot of millennials, especially, they're like, yeah, I'm 25, but I'm going to retire by 30. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you have in place? Oh, well, I'm doing this and I'm building a business. It was like, well, what do you actually have that you're like building? Like, I don't know. Millennials just think money's going to fall out of the sky for some reason. It's like, no, let's sit down, let's make a plan, and let's stick to the plan.
She said, well, she said, what do you actually have?
Like they have
Wait, Brittany,
$500
those are not millennials. Those are Gen Zs.
Right. Even those people, right? Like, we'll retire in 2 years. Like, okay, but you have nothing in your savings. You have one bank account. Like, how are you going to do this?
Let's take those steps. Like, reach out to us because, we'd be happy to put you, in the right direction. That's what we are here for. And like we said before, that's what this platform is all about. We are just kind of showing the way. We're not all knowing or anything like that. However, we have tools that we will utilize to help you. We want to push financial literacy. So, don't be in the dark about your finances. Don't let somebody else, have control over your finances, and don't just go with the flow or go with what your peers are doing, because most likely they have the same knowledge as you. And it's like the blind leading the blind, so take that step, get to know what it is that you need to do with your money, because it's your money and you should have it. It's my money and I want it now.
How's exactly. It I was gonna say thing. You're right. And I think, and I want to just to piggyback by what Laura and Brittany said, and everyone out there on YouTube world. Brittany Beal is also one of our business partners, doing great things in the Atlanta area, trying to save the world and build up in Africa one nation at a time. That's pretty much what her mindset is on. So yeah, big ups to Brittany. But like when it comes down to, your 401k, 403b, I'm gonna let everyone out there just know, okay, there's a part that we all want to sit there and understand about it. But what most people do is that they bury themselves in so much, like in the literature describing the investment vehicle, but you lack the understanding about the significance of these fees that are involved in both of these plans. So if you don't know either one, and then you don't know what the lack of or the options are, then you don't know the lack of the options that you have, and that could all go against when it comes down to your retirement. You want to be able to save for your future. You want to be able to make sure that you're going to be okay. If you're 25 years old, and you want to like retire by the time you're 30 years old, well, you might want to sit there and talk about some better plans than just a 401k, 403b. I'm just saying, most of the time, especially for the entrepreneurs out there, if you guys could see this, I'm not sure if you guys can, but if you can see this, it's literally tax now, tax later, tax advantage account. So here is your tax now. People just put their money, their go-to money, checkings and savings. Hey, I'm just going to put some money in here so to be able to do some quick shopping with. Cool. But, they will send you, if you put too much or not too much, but if there's a significant growth, your interest also goes against you. That 0.002 interest or that 0.03 interest goes actually against you. If you put too much, the IRS actually sends you a 1099 INT that year. You'll be paying money on the taxes you're putting into your own account, right? And then we talked about the tax later. These here, we just got done just breaking both of them down. Like both are just retirement saving vehicles for yourself, but most of them are literally a employer plan, contribution plan. So they actually get the tax break and not you. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's good for, if you want to have a thing to save at, that's great. That's awesome. But if you're an entrepreneur, you don't have the options of 401ks or 403bs. All right. Most people like, I'll get a Roth IRA. Well, we could talk about that a whole nother day, but Roth IRA is only, you have a maximum contribution you're allowed to put in. Right. And you still can't touch it till you're 59. You still can't touch it till you're 59 and a half. So what other plans are we looking at? Yeah, that's what we say. Get with us, because when we do your financial needs analysis, we write down your financial goals and we work our way with you. You'll find out there's other things that's out there that be able to give you the growth and the safety of your money that you want, And then it has the tax advantages and it has protection pieces around it. We don't know if you're going to be able to get the protection piece around it, but we'll find our way to make sure that we can work anything else out to make sure that your money is growing and working for you in the best interest of yourself, you and your family and your financial goals. It's not just about saving money. Most of the time, like Laura said, most of our parents, they work to a certain age. They're like, oh yeah, I got a pension. I have heard not one of my friends yet talking about a pension plan since I guess I graduated college. Yeah, no one has talked about a pension plan at all, right? All of them talked about 401ks and 403bs. So if you guys don't know and you want to know more about the differences and how you make your money actually work and how it's supposed to grow for you, yeah, please. Well, I'll put everyone's, emails in, and we'll just have, just hit us up on, YouTube. I'll put us up on, you can hit us up on We Are Phoenix 2017 at gmail.com. However you guys want to do it out there. But the first steps first, it's like when you go to Alcoholics Anonymous and you can say, hi, my name is David. I'm an alcoholic, right? So it's the same exact thing. Hi, my name is Tanisha. I don't know how money works. Perfectly fine. Doesn't matter what age you are, because no one knows how money actually works. People who have degrees and everything have no idea how things work around them. So we're here to make sure that, we can help anyone out there out. But our main goal is to sit there and get you to minimize taxation as much as possible. That's why we talk about tax advantage plans here. That's what we want to sit there for people to know what tax advantage plans actually are, how they actually, one, benefit the crap out of you, right? Because everything that you actually want is literally like the Power Ranger. It's the Tommy Power Ranger of all things, okay? You had the Power Rangers, and it's I love the Black Ranger. He was the dopest one. Zach was he had the dance moves and everything. But the White Power Ranger came out, and you're like, dang, who gonna beat the White Power Ranger? You know what I'm saying? But you need all the Power Rangers to get to the White Power Ranger. So it's a whole situation. But we're not gonna talk about that because that's gonna get me to a whole nother situation. But when it comes down to how your money is gonna work for you, you want the Rolls Royce, you want the Bentley, you want the fully loaded Range Rover that's gonna literally take you from A to Z perfectly, and you know exactly what's gonna happen, right? So yes, me personally, I think you should go for the tax advantage accounts. I would like for Uncle Sam to stop touching me, right? He's a perverted. Brittany, I'm not sure if you heard it earlier, but I called Uncle Sam the perverted uncle that nobody wants to sit there and talk to. And it actually kind of makes a lot more sense. So Uncle Sam is always touching you. And now she get older, he's gonna sit there hey, I really want to sit there and do some nasty things to you. You're what am I gonna do? That's when he takes 30% from you, right? Or tax down accounts. It's he's touching you every single year.
Terrible.
That is too funny.
Spot on.
That's literally the best analogy I've ever come up with in all of my life. I'm gonna have to start talking to people about that. Just saying.
But it's so accurate though.
Is it not? Is it not? I could literally, if I had a child right now, I'd be like, so there's an uncle that no one likes in his house. His name is Sam. Okay. Uncle Sam is gonna sit there and try to get you. When you try to when you're older, he's gonna get you on your checks. He's gonna get you all the time. Okay, that's his job. There's a way for you to sit there and block out Uncle Sam. Block him out as much as possible. You gotta block him from Facebook. You gotta block him from Snapchat. You gotta block him from Instagram. Whatever you gotta block him from, block him. Okay, so just, you know what I'm saying? Do some Karate Kid type moves for Uncle Sam. We don't really care for you, bro. I don't even know you. And I don't even like you. That's how I feel about it. How I know somebody don't like him. Well, that's what Sam did.
Right. His hands are in the wrong pocket.
Right.
Well, you guys, that is our segment for today. We are so excited to actually show you all more. So definitely come back next week. We will be discussing more on those tax advantage accounts. Today was just breaking down 401ks, 403bs. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding that when your job comes to you and says, hey, don't you want to put your money in one of these accounts? You can say, hey, I'm going to get some more information before I make that decision.
There you go.
So yes.
That's it right there. Get some more information before you sit there. Is it the right choice for you to sit there and do all that? Because you can sit there and save $500 by yourself. You put it into a whole other better plan.
Exactly. So that is what we wanted to show you. Other plans that are out there. So again, come back and see us next week, 6:30. Also drop in. We have Fathers and Finances on Tuesdays. This next Tuesday, we're going to have a collaboration. So get ready for that. It's going to be fire. Again, reach out to us. You said we are Phoenix 2017, right, Tanisha? Mm-hmm. At gmail.com. But all of those links will be in the comment section below, so you can reach out to us there. So before we go, we also like to do a fun Black History fact. Today's spotlight goes to Miss Alice H. Parker. Let me bring her up if I can share, Tanisha.
Yes, let me give you all the opportunities. You should be able to go now. You said what was her name?
Can you all? I think it's Alice or Elise H. Parker.
Hey, girl.
Is that ALICE? I'm gonna go with Alice.
That's Alice, but you were right. We don't know exactly which one they were saying. You're right.
Yeah, because some people, the spelling is a little different. Alice, Elise. We're gonna go with Alice, the lovely Alice H. Parker. Her invention, her contribution to the patent world and invention world was the gas furnace, a fireplace. Not the fireplace. So let me just read the info, okay? It says, at the time, central gas heating has yet to be developed. So people relied on burning coal or wood as their main source of heating. While furnaces and concept of central heating have been around since Roman Empire, the science hardly advanced in the years that followed. And the heating methods utilized by the end of the 19th century were still relatively primitive in nature compared to today's modern day heating system. So Parker felt that the fireplace alone was not enough to keep her and her home warm during the cold Jersey winter, and went on to design the first gas furnace that was powered by natural gas and the first heating system to contain individually controlled air ducts that contributed heat evenly throughout the building. That is impressive. In more technical terms, Parker's heating system used independently controlled burner units that drew in cold air and conveyed the heat through a heat exchanger. This air was then fed into individual ducts to control the amount of heat in different areas. What made her invention particularly unique was that it was a form of zone heating where temperature can be moderated in different parts of the building. That's pretty cool. Parker filed a patent for her design of the heating furnace in 1919. She then received her patent for her design on December 23rd, 1919. So thank you, Miss Alice H.
So you mean to tell me we are so great. We are such good individuals.
It's so exciting.
So we started the whole let's heat your household up. Like Miss Alice was like literally like started a whole so there's no excuses for anybody anymore. Okay.
I know. But wait. One more fun fact about her. Her filing the patent precedes both the civil rights movement and the women's liberation movement, which made her accomplishments especially impressive. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Bernie, you're right. We invented everything.
Any barriers for Black women ever.
So Black women invented. Okay, so let me just tell y'all something real quick before we get off. Okay, so if you're Black, with everything that's going on in the world right now, you can't sit there ever say that we didn't do anything. We contribute to everything. Girl, we have Miss Alice over here. The reason why you have something to heat up your home in, here you go. Okay, like
other than a fireplace.
That's so crazy. It's so crazy. This is in 1919.
1919.
Like, for anyone to sit there and talk about an easy button now, like what are you going to sit there and you can't really invent? What are you going to invent that's going to surpass something? That it has to be something that's going to be like balls to the wall, change the world type situation. This chick done put some heat into your house. You can't even sit there and say thank you. Thank you, Miss Alice. I appreciate everything you do, Miss Alice.
But it was
We're
like
grateful.
also like the temperature can be controlled in different parts of the house. So you know how upstairs it can be like super duper hot and downstairs is like freezing. Well, you can, moderate it. So that is pretty awesome.
That's
You're
dope.
awesome, Alice H. Parker.
Thanks, Alice.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
All righty. Well, thank you all once again for joining us. Thank you again, Miss Alice H. Parker, for your awesome invention and paving the way for us Black women. Any final words from the lovely Tanisha or Brittany?
Brittany, would you like to say any words to part before you part ways?
No, just happy to be here and looking forward to growing more and more.
Awesome.
I know. I want to sit there and say to everyone that's out there, it's amazing that people go to work every single day and they still worry about the future. It's amazing how we can walk out of our front doors and be as worried about each other, our brothers, our cousins, our sisters, our nephews, whoever it is. We don't know what's going to happen out there. The time to start actually doing anything is doing it now, because we need to start doing a better job of stop procrastinating and stop being comfortable. And we have to make sure that for us to be able to save our future for our children and for our future selves, it starts with us today. So even if you feel like you don't have the time, or if you do have the time, but you don't really want to listen, or it might be boring, imagine the fact that like what Miss Alice had to go through, I'm pretty sure it was not like going to Six Flags over Georgia and having a great day. Like she probably had to sit there and actually do some mechanical work, learn what a screwdriver was, things of that nature. Like, let me just figure out how to do this for myself. So when we say that, no, that we can't do it, we know we can. And we have to do it much faster when it comes to saving our future, because we have a lot of evil things that's going on out there, guys, that we have to start fighting from. And spiritually, whether it be spiritually, physically, whatever it is. But when it comes to saving our future, I know that we have some work to do. So might as well make it start for you right now. I could talk about how rollovers even work for you guys if you want to, because I should be a freaking genius when it comes to rollovers by now. But they're fun. They're really fun. They're fun for you. And we could talk about that in a different situation, but definitely helped out my best friend, Crystal. So put that in perspective.
Yes, ma'am. So we're going to do that next week. We're going to save that topic. We're going to definitely get more into the tax advantages, but make sure you come back, see us 6:30 next week. All right, everyone. We love y'all. Be safe out there and write those financial goals down. Bam.
Right. Peace and blessings to all.
Good night, everyone.